Thanks, Caherla. I'd just like to draw attention to the House that last week was a very significant week for the UK and for Northern Ireland, and I suppose more so for the UK. And it wasn't the fact that Donald Trump was visiting, which we were usually honoured for that, but it was actually about a week of parades in Northern Ireland last week. And what I'd just like to draw attention to and to pay tribute to and thanks to is Minister Griffin, who attended the parade in Belfast, who was warmly welcomed to that parade and very warmly received. And it's a huge gesture on his behalf and on the country's behalf to send him up to represent you at that. It also needs to be noted the huge significance of the presence of the Taoiseach in Derry after some of the violence and the trouble that erupted, and for that matter the presence of Mary Lee McDonald there, also to try and deal with some of the issues and try and calm the situation. But I think the most striking thing, the most important thing for me last week was actually the former captain of the Ireland rugby team and captain of the British and Irish Lions, who attended a parade in Loughgall and was on social media on a video that went viral where he played a lambeg drum. And it was a clear indication that actually these gestures, as much as some people cite them as being just token gestures, they make a difference. And if we can break down the barriers and get more people from the south to go north for that week, and remember it's a week of holidays, it's a week of relaxation for people on both sides of communities, nationalist or unionist. It was also interesting, as I drove from Leinster House last Thursday on the 12th up through Belfast and over to Antrim for a meeting, that I had to do a piece for radio, and when I left Dublin in the morning, the press was filled with images of very violent scenes in Belfast and Londonderry. Disappointing. The reality was, when you drive up through the province last Thursday, it was a peaceful day. The roads were very quiet because it was a holiday. The temperatures were good, sun was shining, and the reality is that the truth north of the border was completely different from the images portrayed globally. And for me, as a Northern Ireland citizen, that's hugely disappointing. In conclusion, I'd just like to echo sentiments of the former Speaker and say that I'm deeply concerned about the Brexit talks at the moment, of where they're going. The clock's ticking, the sands of time are running, and we seem to have more questions than we have answers at the moment. I think I'm very concerned that our fears are increasing and not decreasing, and as we move forward, it's important that a deal can be struck, and it's important that we have a deal, and that no deal for me, for the north of Ireland, is not an option. That we can strike a deal and get a resolution to many of these problems. Actually, I think it would be a good time to reflect and consider that we have more problems than we have answers, and maybe we need to revisit this decision to leave the European Union. Thanks.